basement water from the torrential downpours that we had, and I've asked Mr. Zorn if he could please update the council on what's been done up to date.
Certainly. The two events I'm speaking of are the June 20th rain event, which was roughly about 1.2 inches of rain in little, about 1.25 hours. The second event will be the July 9th and 10th rain event, which was about 3.5 inches of rain over a 24-hour period. So two different events. The first event, and this focuses primarily on the Pierce Street lift station, which consists of 3 pumps and has inlets serving basically 3 different blocks within that area. This is an area that historically has had some flooding. 2014, we embarked on a plan that had us rebuild the Pierce Street pump house and install this well station. About $35 million in investment, and with about $8.7 million going to build the well and the disconnect. The immediate assistance, and there's been roughly around 100 homes impacted, different definitions of flooding. Some had flooding just in the street, curb to curb, where drain restrictors were working. Some people did have water within their home. Some people had flooding in their backyard. And so this definition of flooding has 3 different terms when people are talking about it. On those homes that had interior flooding, homeowners have the option to work with us, where we're contacting SWF to come in and do a cleanup of the water inside the home. That is not a restoration, but our first priority there is to deal with the immediate, to eliminate any possible threat of water, that water in the home can pose. The other piece on that is we encourage people to file a claim with their homeowner insurance, as well as the Michigan Municipal Risk Authority, who is the city of Southfield's insurance entity. We are still investigating the events of June 20th. It's interesting when one looks at the volume of rain that fell in that lesser period and how much it did versus over what happened in that 24-hour period, where almost 3 times the amount of rain fell, and we only have, I believe the number was about 3 or 4 calls from the July 9th and 10th event. We continue to do the investigation. The Risk Authority has assigned a legal counsel to the matter. We are also, I've asked our consulting engineer who designed the system to give us their understanding of what happened. And it's not just the design of the system, but it's the integration of the electronic controls. And we are bringing in an independent entity to investigate and as a private report. Main leads for water are going to be cameraed if we can see if there are any blockages. So we continue to investigate, strongly encourage people to file claim forms for events. And as stated by the young woman, you need to remember the Pierce Lift Station is in a combined sanitary storm area. The scope of our work was to separate the storm and the sanitary system. East side of the city is in that city. I think a couple of the addresses I heard are in the Farmington Evergreen Hill system, and there's a very different protocol. So that's, I can speak to that Pierce Lift Station. We're continuing the investigation. We encourage people to file claims with both their homeowners as well as the Risk Authority, and we'll continue to report back to council. I would need to know the locations of the others. I believe Coventry Woods is on the west side of the city off of Bell Road. Am I in the right area?
Yeah.
So that is in the Farmington Evergreen Hills area. Stormwater is a responsibility of the individual homeowner as well as the neighborhood association. The reality is when the homes were built in Southfield, the bulk of them did not have retention ponds. When you look at modern subdivisions today, And I encourage you, when you drive out there, you'll see a forebay for that first flush, then you'll see a place for that water to sit. Every other lot is crowned. If you walk the backyards of 5, 6 of our homes, they share maybe one beehive that inlets into an area. I would need to speak to KT as to what he found out. But you want some ponding. It's not a horrible thing to have some ponding. As to the water coming into the basement, I would want to take a look at, if the water's coming through the walls, that's clearly a homeowner's responsibility. Yes, we do have programs. We have a chore program. If you're income eligible, the dollar limit on the chore program is right around $600. We have a SHIP program, which usually has a waiting list. We do occasionally are able to do basement work. Well, we have, but there you also have to income qualify for that program as well. Any homeowner, this is what a private inspection is about. And, and I would ask, was a private inspection done on that home? And if there was a history and other people known, was something not disclosed? Have you contacted within 6 months your realtor? Because that should have been disclosed if there was a history of water coming in. Trees and roots. A lot of the homes in Southfield, when they were built, and it was to use a clay pipe. And when you look at that pipe, you'll see that there is no, it's not wrapped in environmental. Today, we would have a PVC pipe wrapped with an environmental fabric with pea gravel around it. That would be what a modern system would look like. What we have in a lot of these homes, and through my work, through NSP, or SNRI, I've seen a lot of the dig-ups of these, where the clay pipe will be completely filled with dirt. It's very tough. You can get that routed. You can flush that out, but it's tough. And the clay pipe, your house, you buy a 50, 60-year-old home, that pipe doesn't last forever. These are, unfortunately, some of the realities all of us as homeowners have to deal with. But from your house to our system, that's historically, and I say historically, has been considered a private function. People don't like it. It's the same thing with connecting to a city's sewer system. That function from your house to the city sewer line is a private function. The water lead from our water main to your home is historically been a private function. Not until these recent lead copper rules has that changed. So I want to just go back to the Pierce Street event. We continue to investigate. People need to fill out claim forms to City Council. This could very well be a matter of litigation, and we're going through essentially the design and the component, an analysis of the components that make up that well. And I hope this information helps to our residents. I know it's difficult. I will share with you, I had a sister, last community, I have a sister who didn't speak with me for 2 years. It was the last city I was working in. She had her basement flood. And I will tell you that community has spent millions of dollars dealing with stormwater. There's a debate going on in this state about stormwater and stormwater utilities. There are communities who are putting these in place. And I will, council knows the administration is in favor of putting in place a stormwater utility system. We have to build a system that handles these freak rain events. I mean, 3.5 inches in a 24-hour period. I don't know if you saw some of the stuff on the West Coast. It wiped out roads. I mean, our weather patterns are changing so quickly and erratically that all of us as homeowners need to start figuring this out. We could drive down to Dearborn Heights, and I can show you where a beautiful street of homes was bought out just for water storage. And it's the types of things that we are facing. I last worked in a community that has a tunnel miles long under Eureka Road for water storage and for these rain events. Every taxpayer pays just under 3 mils for that tunnel. So these are the issues that we're facing. We hear Candace Miller out in Macomb County talking about storm water and the systems they're facing. This is the issue. And with climate change, it's going to become more challenging. All of us as homeowners, making sure our pipes are clean, making sure you're grade. So many times when my staff walks around, we'll see that we put mulch around our house, just making sure you've got a positive drain. Gutter extensions, moving that rain around, away from your house can matter. And we're happy to work with people, but this is unfortunately a shared problem, and I can't be any more honest about it. So I'll.
Councilman Hicks?
Well, Mr. Zorn, first of all, I want to thank KT, if I'm saying his name properly.
Yep, Kevin Turnquist, superintendent in streets, highways, and storms are handled and charged to our streets and highways.
I thank your team as well as yourself for the information that you've shared. My question is, I'm assuming from the list that you required last meeting, you followed up with that information and recommendations to those who signed up? And those who are watching have heard your proposed next steps.
Yep.
What are we doing to communicate this to those who may not have signed up?
We have a database, and to those who haven't, we've done some door-to-door knocking, and we're messaging. I know that an email a notice was sent out for people to file claims, and we'll reinforce that, working with community relations, and a lot of door-to-door has been done on this.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.